You know, the other day I was in a bookstore and I saw a fascinating book by an insurance actuary. Now, an actuary is somebody whose profession it is to examine actual risk according to the raw data and determine how dangerous something really is. And then, according to their data, insurance companies set their premiums. For example, according to the data, it is far more likely for a young male to get into a car accident than an older female. So a young male pays higher premiums. Insurance actuaries look at that kind of data. Well, this guy's whole point in his book was that fears that we all seem to sense in the world around us are not usually supported by the data. He said the things we all tend to be afraid of are really not that likely to harm us. For example, he said most of us, many of us, have a fear of being killed in a terrorist attack or in a mass shooting or in a plane crash or by one of these new viruses like the coronavirus. He said, in actuality, you're more likely to be killed by a lightning strike than by any one of those things. However, he said, here is what is actually happening in America every single day. He said 117 people every day in America, their deaths by suicide. Another stat he gave, 129 Americans every day die of a drug overdose. Another stat, about 100 Americans die every day in car accidents that they themselves cause. And 1,300 Americans die every day because of cancer related to their smoking habit. In other words, the greatest threat out there to your life is not some terrorist or some virus. It's yourself and your choices and your decisions. What we do at church and what we have in our faith actually at a fundamental level fights against all of those actual dangers at our own hand. Our faith offers hope instead of despair. It teaches responsibility. It teaches community. It teaches wisdom. So one of the best things that we can do in terms of actual danger to life and limb is to be a part of a faith community. Another thing I want to point out, thinking like an actuary is thinking realistically and logically about the issue of fear. Do you remember our key verse from this last weekend? It comes from 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7, where Paul says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." You have God's power. You have God's love. Now, have a sound mind that comes from thinking logically about reality, and you will find that your fears begin to fade. You do that, and I know you're going to have a great day today.